All right, guys, just wrapped up with stream, and I figured I would record a quick video going over the trades from today on stream. And first and foremost, happy December, boys and girls. You made it. You made it through October. You made it through December. We're finally here now. The year's almost over. But anyway, jumping back into the charts, this is, as you guys can see, the trade caught today. You can also see my other executions. This was a break-even trade, and this was actually an L, my own fault. And I replayed the same trade, and it obviously played out. So I ended up taking an L unnecessarily due to poor analysis and poor management, which I will get into in just a bit. So let me jump over to E-mini NQ just to show you guys the overall thought process here. Let me go ahead and not remove all these drawings, but let me at least remove some of these drawings. And I want to start from scratch, boys and girls, and go back to the beginning of the day. So going into the day, let's go to market open. So market opens up, and this is where market opens up at, right? So let's jump up to the 15. I'm looking kind of overall at this range. I see that we have put in equal lows here. We did not have SMT divergence with ES at the lows, but we had very clean relative equal highs at Asia and London highs. So once this populates, you guys will see here, perfect clean equal highs here at London and Asia highs. And my initial draw going into market open was that we were either going to run out these highs and then go to these lows, or vice versa, we were going to run out these lows and then go to these highs. And what ended up happening, if I just fast forward here a little bit, we did have 10 a.m. red folder news, by the way, guys. And I did tell the stream as soon as I got on that I was going to wait for that 10 a.m. news to pass before doing anything. So we can just actually fast forward through this. Let me jump down to the 5-minute as we kind of jump ahead here. So what happens is market opens up right here. We get a spike down. We get a spike back up. And then we end up wicking the high, coming back down to the low. We wick the low right here to the left. So we end up wicking this low. And we create an SMT divergence at this point with ES. ES was putting in a higher low, and NQ was putting in a lower low. So at this point, we see displacement back up. So 10 a.m. is incoming in the next like 2 candles here. So 10 a.m. news comes in. We see price trade through these Asia-London highs, and we see price trade up into 50% of this range. And at this point, I was entertaining a reversal back to these equal lows that were left. Let me take this off. And I was watching this 5-minute. We leave behind a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. The new hour opens up. So you can see the new hourly candle opens up. We take out the 9 a.m. hourly high on NQ. We don't take it out on ES. So we have another SMT divergence at this high. And I'm telling myself, all right, if we can inverse this 5-minute gap, I will look to play a short to these lows, right? 930 open, 830 open, these lows, and potentially 193. So fast forward a little bit, waiting. And then we finally do get price to inverse on this, not this candle, this one. So right here at 1030, as 1030 opens up, 1025 candle closes, we get the inversion. I grab a market execution on this wick. We expand to the downside. And at this point, we hit this 5-minute bullish fair value gap in discount of this range. And at this point, I'm telling myself I don't want to see this gap hold. ES was already trading to 930 and 830 opening prices. So at this point, I removed risk. The next 5-minute candle, you guys will see, we open up, we trade lower, and then we come all the way back up. I get stopped to break even on this trade. And at this point, seeing this reaction, I have to tell myself that I'm probably offside. And after this 5-minute candle closes, you can see on the 15-minute that we actually end up holding this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. We had inversed this on ES, but we did not inverse it on NQ. So it was a little bit tricky just looking at them side by side. But I was telling myself that, okay, if this was truly a rebalance, above these highs to go lower to these lows. Like, this is not going to do this. We're not going to get this kind of a reaction, and we're not going to get this kind of a displacement from rebalancing this range, right? We trade down to discount, we rebalance, and then we see price displaced to the upside. So at this point, I'm basically looking for longs, and I'm kind of waiting as well time-wise because I'm waiting for us to get into the hourly macro. So looking at 1050 right there into 1110. So I'm looking at this macro, right? We see price does give us an expansion at the beginning of this macro. I did not grab an entry, but I'm watching this hourly flip, and I'm expecting us now to go or start drawing towards these highs here. I'm expecting price to now turn this into a market maker buy model. We're not going to respect, if we were going to respect this equilibrium and go lower, we would have done so. So now my target shifts to the other side of this range, and I'm watching this, and what I ended up doing here is I'm telling myself that at 11 a.m., so let me move this to 11, I want to see price retrace into these inefficiencies that were left behind before the new hourly candle takes out the previous hourly high or current hourly high in this example. And if it can do that, I like buy limit continuations to the upside. So let me get to the hour here. So boom, the new hour opens up, and you guys can see that we do not take out the hourly high, right? We do not take out the hourly high. We start coming down. ES did not take out the hourly high either. What I did is I marked up. This is why the first trade ended up being a loss. So let me get rid of these macro lines. First trade ended up being a loss because I marked up from this range low to this high on the 1 minute. And the reason is because I was viewing all of this as efficient and rebalanced. So I did not anchor it properly. I should have had it anchored here. Instead, I anchored it here. So my first trade looked like this. 50% of the range was my entry. This was TP1, and I'm aiming for new week opening gap and higher targets for runners. But initially, like, this is all that I'm really looking for, and stop was going down here. What I end up doing though is price chop around. We see price now come and take out this low right there, and at this point we had SMT with ES, and I'm telling myself if we come back down to this low, I'm just going to close the trade. I'm not going to take a full stop out, which it does do. I closed the position on this candle like right here. So I end up closing the trade like right there for a small loss, 28 points. But then I'm watching this, and if you guys go watch my stream replay of this whole thing, you can confirm this, but I re-anchored there, and I'm seeing this still hold, and I'm seeing this fair value gap being left, and I'm telling myself, okay, perhaps I fucked up, and I marked my range incorrectly, and if we do inverse this, it might be worth me giving this another try. So that is exactly what ends up happening. We displace, inversing this gap. I grabbed my entry just above the retest. It was somewhere like right in here. And I went to target this high. I can actually jump over to micros at this point, but let me just show you guys it as it plays out here. Took a while, had to be patient, but we stair-stepped all the way to this first target. Let me go to micros. And let me turn on, or turn off replay rather, so you guys can see the executions. Leave. So this was the executions here on micro. So you guys can see first trade, break even on that trade. Second trade, you can see my entry initially was at 50% of this range right there. Closed there with my stop, reassessed, reevaluated, decided to give it another chance, and then got the trade all the way up to here. I did close this just a smidge before, as ES was running out the high first. So I took my first partial off there. Another partial off as we traded through this high right here. So you can see the partial right there. And then decided to close the trade here. When the new hour opened up, we swept the hourly high. I just got a little spooked, apparently, micromanaged, and was feeling a little bit antsy. But anyway, long story short, this was the trade. And we still have not gotten to new week opening gap. I don't believe we've gotten there on ES either. We have not. Okay. So yeah, we've kind of just stalled out here a little bit now, and we're just moving really, really slowly. So we'll see what the rest of the day wants to do. But yeah, that was the trades and kind of the overall analysis from today. The P&L from the day is 2,400. 24.20 across my 5 accounts. The total ends up being just under 500 per account, so like 480-ish roughly. So yeah, that's how we did today, boys and girls. Just kind of kicking myself a little bit for mismanaging the first trade. I feel like you know, it happens, obviously not perfect, but would have definitely liked to have just stayed in that initial long and just kind of let it play out, and obviously would have been even more green on the day, being able to cut that loser out. So it is what it is. Can't go back and change it now. Happy to be green. Definitely kind of a trickier day today to trade, I would say. So, you know, it is what it is, and there's not really much we can do about it now. Just be happy that we're green. Just one quick reminder, boys and girls, today is the last day, 40% off for Black Friday, Cyber Monday for Tradeify, 40% off 25 and 50K Lightning Fundeds, 50K, 100K, 150K growth accounts, code Tyler or code TT. Daily payouts, sounds like is coming this week, boys, on Wednesday. So very, very exciting amongst other announcements as well. So very exciting stuff. If you want to take advantage, boys and girls, let me know in the comment section below how you guys did today. Let me know if you guys caught anything similar to this. If you thought the price action was a little bit trickier today, and just let me know your overall thoughts, boys and girls. If you've made it this far in the video, type December in the chat, in the comment section, boys. Type the word December if you've made it this far in the video. But otherwise, guys, hit that like button. Helps the channel out a lot. And I will see you guys back on stream tomorrow. All right, guys. Happy Monday. We'll talk to you later on.